record there. We're doing pretty good. Today is Wednesday, September 4th, birth month, 2024. We live. We live right now. Yeah, so today is Wednesday. It was weird yesterday. I was thinking about things I got to do today, a lot of YouTube videos and whatnot. I'm like, oh crap, I gotta do a podcast. It's kind of bad we say you got to do something, but the cool thing about podcasting is it really is a breath of fresh air. It truly, really is. It's one of those things to where it's like, oh, okay, we're gonna have some fun today. 20, 30 minutes. My podcast's been a lot shorter lately, but it's all good. As long as they are hitting the mark, go longer if I needed to, but sometimes long doesn't mean good all the time. So I had a realization yesterday where I was looking at my videos, editing some of them, and I was like, man, it's a lot of work. I need to be better about this because I like to batch edit. I video record all the time, but I like to batch edit. Batch edit. That first and second one, they're fine. And then the third one, then you're like, okay, I need a break. I'm tired of this stuff, but it's all good. It's one of those things to where we're just going to get better with it, learning different things. This is still new to me, all of it. But as we do this and understand the things that we're trying to do, that's what we got to do. But like I said, I was looking at my videos, and as I was looking at my videos, I was like, oh man, just let's get a little closer. Get you a little closer to me. There we go. And I was like, no, this is not good. This one doesn't make sense. This is not a video. So it's all good. It's one of those things to where you're like, oh man, I record a lot of them at the same time to kind of just move it and groove it and see where it goes. But it's been working out pretty well. And one of the other ones is kind of doing better than I thought it was. So we're hitting our stride. We're getting the views back a little bit. But the cool thing is that everything is coming into place, so to speak. So we're learning, we're understanding even more as we understand this even more. Where is this? Okay, that. There we go. Shutter angle, shutter, whatever. Was a little off, but it's not a big deal. It's not going to affect anything. You're not going to even notice it if you watch the video in a month or so. So we've already messed up. We haven't told people what the topic is. So I think it is what it is. So we probably lost them. The topic is revisiting people, if that makes any sense. Revisiting people in coffee. I need to check it out again. I may do that right now. Let's do that right now. I always hate it when people will go on their phone and do things and all that good stuff, right? But I haven't switched on my phone in a long time, but it's all good. Channel, go to community. Okay, we're still at 2 votes. I got to check. And I got some people, I asked them a question about grinders. And the reason why I asked them that question was because I am eventually going to venture off into this whole grinder thingy. I already showed you or released a video about crappy grinders and all that stuff, right? But it's one of those things to where it's like, okay, is this for me or is this for them? It's kind of for me too. Kind of seeing what's out there, seeing what people are really talking about, not being blindsided about if my method is what it is, or giving people understanding. And I think that's the biggest thing, to really give people an understanding of coffee and what different things do for different people and all that, so to speak, right? So that's where I'm at with a lot of this stuff. Let's see if we can put this on the right side. There we go. Got it right. So you don't see the wire as much. And I was thinking about people and how people are on their journey. And that's the thing. I got to watch when I say journey, because at times, when people say journey, it's always something about improvement, getting better. like not being the same person as you are when you started the journey, which makes sense, right? I mean, when you're a kid and you're older or whenever you die, you're not the same person. You may be mostly the same person at a certain age in your life, but the thing about it is that you're doing more. You're like grinding. You're like getting better at things, either your career or hobby or whatnot. And coffee's no different, right? Coffee is a thing to where you are not going to be the same person as you were in the beginning, and you're getting better. And that's the journey. That's the growth. That's the thing that we know that is happening at the same time as we get better and understand the things that we're trying to do, so to speak. You understand what I'm saying? So, but just kind of like looking at even just the 2 votes that I did, it's cool because it's something to the point where some people probably don't want to grow anymore. They're probably happy where they're at. We have to be mindful of that too. Sometimes people just want to keep grinding and getting better and understanding the things that they like to do, right? But it could also be to the point to where they're happy, they're content. I remember when I was really into like buying gear, buying coffee brewers, for instance. I bought them all. I got rid of most of them. Not most of them, but a lot of them. I started to realize that they start to do more so the same thing. They brew coffee. Some at some situations better than others, but for the most part, they were more so the same. And then when I hit that wall of like okay, there's nothing under the sun that's gonna really revolutionize the coffee, I stopped. I didn't stop growing. I just stopped buying the gear, and I started to really appreciate the things that I had. For instance, here's another one. I remember, I don't know if I told this story. I probably did in some form or fashion, but I used to do photography heavily, right? And when I did photography heavily, I had one camera, the D60, entry level crop sensor, a long time ago. So if you're D60, you already know when I started photography a long time ago, 08, 09, something like that. And I liked it. Got 50 millimeter, got some other stuff, zooms, kit lens, and all that. But I was like, it's time for me to upgrade. It's time. So I went ahead and ordered the new camera. I think it was a D500, D550, something like that. I was ready to get that thing. It wasn't that much better than the one I had, truthfully. Probably better a little bit in low light and whatnot. But again, I ordered it. It came. My then girlfriend, now wife, saw that package. She knew how spendy I was. And she was like, return that thing right now. You don't need that. And I was like, what? But I listened, right? I listened. I did the thing that I needed to. And I returned it. And as I returned it, I was pissed. And she told me, just use the thing I have. You're not good yet. And I was like, oh, okay. So I started to find different ways to use the camera. I went out more. I tried different tricks and tips and little challenges I gave myself, things I read online. I really started to understand that camera, but not only understand that camera, but I started to understand photography. I knew something about light, how to manipulate it. I started to see the images that I actually like taking a lot more than others. I wondered and jotted down why I liked those images. It wasn't really so much about the camera or how better it was. It was more so about like what I can do with it. And whatever I was thinking about in my head, was I able to create it? Like, for instance, one of my favorite pictures is this Porsche 911. If it was a bus doing the same thing now, it wouldn't be the same. But I captured that Porsche when I was walking in Montrose in Houston. And I was just practicing panning. I was practicing panning like nobody's business. Different shutter speeds and all that, playing around with that. and just painting. And I saw it and I took the image. I think I took a couple of images, but I know there's just that one that I took and it was perfectly framed. It was off to the side. It wasn't in the middle. It was back to the right. So you can see that I was going forward. I took that picture with that camera. It was amazing. It felt so good. And I say that to bring up the whole coffee thing is that once I, for the most part, stopped buying gear, I really started to understand and develop my palate, develop my craft, develop my technique even more so. I'm still learning. I still want to go deep as I can in that rabbit hole. We're going to have a lot of videos about extraction and all that good stuff, right? But the thing about it is that it was fun. It was exciting. It was something that I knew that it was a part of me. But that's the thing. I don't have an issue growing. I have an issue just standing still. And that's crazy. I'm trying to talk about people, but I'm talking more so about myself. And that's what podcast does to me at times, is that we're just talking about things that we are coming to us and gravitating to us. But at the end of the day, it always comes back, circles around back to us, right? But I have a problem of like not growing. I can't stand still. And that's interesting to me. That's something that's fascinating. That's something that I know that I can't get enough of. And if I keep going down this, so to speak, proverbial rabbit hole, I'm going to have to be content in certain areas of life. For instance, I'll give you a little personal anecdote. Somebody came to me yesterday and they asked me about my job situation, career stuff. And I told him, I was really honest about it. I said, nah, focus on my coffee. And he was trying to offer me a job, something. I was like, honest with him. I was like, I don't do that, man. I've been doing project management type of work for 20 plus years. So you keep that design stuff. You do your thing. I was just honest about it. It felt great. I'm not saying that I'm not progressing in my career because it is what it is. It's putting food on the table. It's sustaining this coffee journey business and all that stuff, right? But I don't see it that I'm necessarily like progressing in a way to where it does something or challenges me. I don't get me wrong, I feel challenged in the things that I'm doing, but something about like just standing there, seeing things for what they are, and focusing and trying to get better. Not getting better. See, I keep bringing up getting better, and it's not so much about getting better; it's about being content in certain areas in your life. And I think that's what I'm getting from other people when I ask them the questions about coffee, about grinders, because to an extent, grinders represent some type of growth. It gives you the ability to do more things with the coffee that you didn't think that was really possible. Because if you keep with the same grinder, so to speak, and if it's not as good as it should be, then you're probably not getting the full potential of what that coffee truly tastes like. So the grinder, when people are saying, no, I'm perfectly fine with the grinder that they do have, or electric grinder, they don't want to go down the $300 hand grinder route. That lets me know that people are content or happy with the place that they are in their coffee journey. And that's perfectly fine. And that's something that I have to realize a lot of times is that that's where we're at with a lot of this stuff. I don't know whenever I'm going to stop or care or be content with the things that I do know, the growth that I do have in this whole coffee journey. So it's interesting that I'm talking about this and understanding more so the situation of what I'm going through, but also what other people are truly going through too. I think that's the beauty of this podcast, these realizations, these talking to people, understanding people. Because I think the reason why I bring up YouTube so much is for a couple of different reasons. Even podcasting is that it's part of my daily life. The videos can be cinematic. They could be telling you something. They could be doing whatever the hell they're doing, right? But the thing about it, more than anything, is that we're here to see if we can help somebody else. I'll give you another story before we end this podcast. Is that years ago, I had a blog. Life is what you make of it. Now it's a spammy type of thing that people want, and I'm not gonna give it to them. Just gonna let it be what it be. I know what I wanted because of the name. And I wrote in this blog for many years, diligently, a couple times a week, writing articles or posts about coworkers and my insights in my life and all that stuff. And it was just my little safe haven on the internet. I did have people from time to time to come on there to ask me questions. I did meet people from time to time who was doing blogging and all that stuff, right? But I remember this one person, I think I have their email somewhere. And this woman, this lady at the time, was really getting something from my words. I think there was somebody else that got the same thing too. And she said that I was helping her in some way, fashion, or form. And I sat there for a little bit and wondered. I was like, wow, I thought I was just doing this for myself. But in truth, I was also doing it for the people who say something, who don't say anything, who are just passing by. And I think that's the thing that I am getting towards with, or getting at with YouTube, is that it's something that's extremely powerful. It's something that lets me be myself. I don't think I've changed who I am. I've gotten better in front of the camera, so to speak. I'm going to continue to get better and all that stuff. But the thing about it is that I know there's people out there that are looking forward to my videos. I know there's people out there that are wanting to comment, wanting to give their opinions. And that's what gets me going. That's what keeps me moving. Am I making money from it yet? No. But it's bigger than that. It's one of those things where it's a big test bed for all the things that I like to do, want to do, and how it's going to make me better as a person. In truth, the beauty of it is that the cherry on top is that I'm helping somebody else out in a form of what I'm trying to do. So that's what I got for you. I hope that that was helpful, valuable, because I always have to think about that even more so as I watch other YouTube videos, and how either if they are or they aren't giving you value. And I want to give you as much value as I can. But I think also, if I'm having fun with giving the value, then that's going to be what I strive for. And also, if I just want to let loose and have fun, maybe you'll get something from that too. But we're going to run this up. We're going to have a good time. And I am very happy with the direction things are going, even though they're not in the right direction. But that's perfectly fine, because that's how you grow. Talking about that growth thing. In this case, I do got to grow. I do need to get better. And I am listening, even when you don't say things to me, because I'm always looking and being aware of that stuff. So that's what we got for you. That's what we're going to be doing. And I'll talk to you later. Bye. It's my hand thing now.